Connection here. Everybody knows there is a Bemus connection. What is it?
Well, my mom is a Bemus, so Betty Lou Bemus is her. Yeah, and so she grew up coming, and I think that she lived after my grandfather died. So my family basically, I guess they homesteaded in Bemus Point. The house was called Ravenwood, and it's still there. It's on the lake. My cousins own it now, and my aunt lives. They have a place on that property and just right on the lake there. And so my mom spent time after my grandfather died. I don't know, he was 40. So, and I think my uncles were, all three of them were in the war. And she came up here and lived with her mother and her little sister, and they farmed, and did all that stuff on that property on Lakeshore Drive.
Have you skated here?
I have skated here, but just not in a competition or anything. Yeah, I mean, it's a brand new rink, so really, for me. Yeah. I retired 20 years ago from skating, basically, but, I'm still dabbling here and there and coaching now, so.
Well, everybody in Chautauqua County was going bananas in 1992 in Edwardsville, because there was a real sense of pride, because we knew there was a connection here. And what did it feel like? You weren't, it was a shock. I mean,
yeah, well, and the thing is that my grandmother, Bertha Pitts Olander, she was
a client, by the way.
Oh, really? Yeah, she was very beloved, I think, by people in the community, and she passed away the summer before. No, sorry, not the summer. We came here in the summer before, and then she passed away like almost the Christmas before the Albertville games. And so, I mean, I can remember thinking about her when I was skating the program, because there was some music in there that I'd played for her, and brought it to Bemus Point to play it for her. So she had heard my Olympic music and had seen me skate some of the pre-Olympic events. And so anyway, it was kind of neat. She was a musician, and I grew up going to Chautauqua, and my uncle sang in the choir, and my uncle actually, they had the Keystone, which is a guest house right next to the amphitheater, and so I grew up going to all of the things at Chautauqua, whether it was the opera or all of those things, the symphony, hearing speakers, and it was a really wonderful place to come and visit. We lived out west, so we didn't get here very often, but when we did, we had a lot of fun. We went to Midway and did the bumper cars.
Welcome back.
Yeah, exactly, right,
This is terrific.
Yeah.
Take us back to 1992. I mean, you had quite an interesting year that year.
Yeah.
Barely made the Olympic team, and in fact didn't even get onto the world's team.
That's right. Yeah. So I made the Olympic team by 1/10 of a point. Meaning that one of the judges gave me 1/10 of a point higher than another guy, but there was like a 5-4 split, and I won that split. And so there was a deliberation of the international committee about whether I should even go to the Olympics, and they decided that yes, the precedent was that the scoring at nationals should stand up, and they wanted to send Todd Eldridge on a medical bye, and so they took me. I was the second place finisher at nationals, and but they did not send me to the Worlds. They sent Mark Mitchell to the Worlds, and no real hard feelings. It was 5 weeks later. I really turned my career around, and just showed up at the Olympics after having trained as hard as I could, and with a new sense of confidence maybe. And just showed up in Albertville skating the best of the Americans, and so it was, I wasn't long on confidence at that point, but it was a feeling that I could potentially medal. And so after the short program, I was in third place.
Paul Wylie, third after the original program from Cambridge, Massachusetts, skating to Henry V, and his coach Evie Scottbold says it's a story that parallels Paul. It's about a young king with no confidence who grew in stature and eventually conquered France. Perhaps Wylie can conquer Albertville tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he does that. It's a very interesting story. He was not chosen for the team to go to the World Championships, which are 3 weeks from now. This is his last amateur performance. It would be really nice to see him go out with a good performance.
been a totally mistake-free performance. He had one small error, he doubled out one jump, but I'm confident that this performance for Paul Wylie is going to be one which keeps him on the podium.
It's certainly been the most exciting program, and by the sound of the crowd, they think so too.
He has not won a competition since 1988. That was in France and belief, and the fans are on their feet for Paul Wylie. The Harvard grad just made the honor roll at the Olympics. The American winning streak may still be on here. We'll be back with the marks after this.
I skated really well, and my score stood up, and I was second in the overall. So it was pretty cool, pretty wonderful time.
Very cool. I mean, I can remember the enthusiasm around here.
Yeah.
That you'd accomplished so much. When you saw the things progress during the long program, and yours was holding up, did you kind of pinch yourself?
Yeah, of course, the minute I finished skating, the marks came up, and I knew I was second to Victor Petrenko. But then there were a lot of good skaters that followed, and so I wasn't sure how that was going to go at all. And so, you don't want to wish anybody ill, and yet, you certainly, I was hoping to hold on to a medal anyway. And so, I remember getting to that last person and just being like, I just want a bronze medal. And then I was like, oh, gosh, then I got a silver, so it was exciting. And, I don't think, I couldn't have scripted it better myself. It was a really wonderful, wonderful time for me and for my coaches and for my family, and just the Cinderella ending kind of.
Did you know this was going to be your last year?
Oh, yes. I knew that was going to be my last competition for sure. Mm-hmm. So I went in, planning for my pro career and all of that. And I thought, I had sort of signed an agent, and I knew I was going to be skating, with Stars on Ice probably, but I didn't know, where that was going to lead. And so we just wound up. I had applied to law school, and so I really sort of put a couple of eggs in different baskets, and then decided to skate professionally. And at first I was going to skate professionally for 2 years, and then I extended and extended. So I wound up having a 6-year professional career, and then I did not go to law school. I went to business school instead, and I did. I retired from the touring life in '98, and mostly, a personal decision, just time to go, and went back to business school at Harvard, and then married Kate, my wife now, in '99. We started having kids, so now we have 3 kids, and we live in Charlotte, North Carolina.